Cosmic Girl 101 signing on for the Scorpio rising May astrology of 2024. This month we're going to be discussing the Sun, the new moon and the full moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Jupiter going into the sign of Gemini, and Pluto going into a retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. The Sun opening up the month of May continues its transit in the sign of Taurus, your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, agreements, contracts, and negotiations. This is a house that is all about other people. So when the Sun is transiting here, this is where your energy and your drive for life is directed towards. It's towards other people. So your partnerships are illuminated, agreements and contracts are up for negotiation or going back over contracts. This is a time where you are very heightened in regards to looking at the details, getting to the nitty-gritty of relationship differences or concerns when the Sun is transiting that seventh house of partnership. Well, on the 20th of May, that Sun's going to be leaving that seventh house and ingressing into the sign of Gemini until the 20th of June 2024. Now, Gemini for you, Scorpio rising, is your 8th house. So when you've got the Sun illuminating that 8th house, it's where you get down to analysis, details in regards to your finances, investments, resources, how you're connected with other people in regards to resources, also topics of inheritance, tax and debts, or your partners. So when the Sun's transiting here, it's hard not to look at your financial world or your partners. So if you need to take more time in regards to getting down to understanding your 3D monetary reality, this is a great transit to get started and complete what needs to be completed in regards to agreements, contracts, how your finances are connected with other people, and how you can build security and wealth for the self. The moons for the month of May. Well, on the 7th of May, you have a new moon in the sign of Taurus, your 7th house. In ancient astrology, the moon's exalted in the sign of Taurus, and Venus is in her own sign in Taurus, which she is currently transiting. So this is quite auspicious and favorable for a new beginning. It's actually going to come to pass and potentially flourish and be very lucrative for you as a Scorpio rising. If you're looking at a new beginning in regards to a financial commitment or agreement with a partnership or a relationship, this is auspicious for something that's going to really tick your boxes in regards to feeling secure with a relationship, a partnership, contract, or agreement. So set your intentions. This is a great day on the 7th of May for you as a Scorpio rising. On the 23rd of May, there's a full moon in the sign of Sagittarius, which is your second house. So we have a completion, a release point here, the graduation point of the lunation cycle, the full moon. And Jupiter is the ruler of this lunation, and he's currently transiting in your 7th house, being Taurus. Relationships, agreements, contracts, and partnerships. So this looks fantastic for releasing and letting go of a contract or an agreement that has run its course, connected with a relationship or a partnership that has a financial aspect to it. Could also see you understanding your own self-worth and self-value and how you're not connected with a relationship or partnership or a contract that you're anchored into. This could be the point of release to graduate and move on. And Jupiter being the ruler of this lunation, I think is favorable for you as a Scorpio rising because it's in the 7th house. Now on to planet Mercury. Now, Mercury is all about that travel, speed. It's our mental landscapes, how we think and communicate, our self-talk, how we connect through others, through ideologies and concepts about life. It's also to do with commerce and trade and money. Now, Mercury has been transiting in your 6th house as a Scorpio rising, being Aries. And your 6th house could be very busy. It could be like a lot of renovations or financial changes going on in your workplace, or things that you do on a day-to-day basis. You could be researching about your health, trying to change things up with your health, with Mercury transiting in the 6th house of Aries, and being quite determined to cut something away. This also looks like services to other people might be stepping up in speed, or communicating with people about providing services with Mercury transiting in that 6th house. Well, on the 15th of May, that Mercury is going to be ingressing into Taurus, your 7th house, until June 3rd of 2024. Now, Mercury in Taurus is all about the details, analysis, analytics regarding our contracts, agreements, and partnerships and relationships. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty in regards to having the conversations that are necessary to clear the decks in regards to how we feel and think connected to others. If you have a contract or an agreement that needs a retweak, or you need to take time or a step back to rethink about a commitment, this is a great transit to take your time. But Mercury in the 7th can have relationships really fired up when it comes to our sense of values and self-worth, connected to how we think and how we feel about our resources and how you guys move together, or how you may need to separate ideologies or really think about the finer details in regards to your connections. On the 17th of May, Mercury in Taurus is squaring Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. So your 7th and 4th house is in a square aspect on this day. So Mercury squaring Pluto is almost as if Mercury is really challenging Pluto to really bring up the wealth and bring up the details necessary regarding those 4th house topics of real estate, property, ancestry, family. Mercury is searching for details and Pluto retrograde in that 4th house. So this day could be hard to get the details, or even get some finances sorted out connected to your home, with relationships, agreements, and contracts as well. On the 27th of May, Mercury in Taurus is sextiling Saturn, which is currently in the sign of Pisces, your 5th house. So on this day, you've got a sextile aspect with Mercury and Saturn. So this is about a very mature conversation, or looking at finances that affect your sense of pleasure, what you do with a partnership or a creative pursuit that is affecting a relationship, agreement, or contract. And this sextile is favorable because we're talking about harmony between Mercury and Saturn. So even though there may be a necessary conversation or looking at something from a very mature, wise lens, it's favorable for you to do so on the 27th of May. So if it's a difficult conversation or something that needs to be ironed out, this is the day to do it. On the 31st of May, ending the month, that Mercury is going conjunct Uranus, in Taurus, your 7th house. So this sets the stage, Scorpio rising, for, releasing yourself from an agreement, contract, or a relationship out of the blue, or needing to change up different aspects of the connection, be it contractual or a significant relationship or partnership. Planet Jupiter has been transiting for you as a Scorpio rising in your 7th house. This has been going on for nearly a year now, and Jupiter's going to be leaving your 7th house and ingressing into the sign of Gemini, which is your 8th house, until May 25 of 2025. Jupiter is bringing knowledge and wisdom and experience that is going to propel you into the future, that is going to fall in line with your ideologies, concepts, and beliefs about life. So when Jupiter's changing signs and houses, it's important. And as a Scorpio rising going in that 8th house, it's all about your self-worth and self-value, your assets, and how other people might be connected to them that impact you and impact your self-worth and sense of security and stability. So your finances, assets, inheritance, situations, debt, taxes, these are all highlighted when we've got that 8th house lit up. But Jupiter going in here is injecting wisdom and looking at the future. So you might have an interest in investing and watching finances mature over time. And it could be quite a lucky transit, because Jupiter is all about that abundance and giving a lot of life force to that 8th house, which is connected to your personal resources and your sense of stability in the 3D world. So enjoy that transit when Jupiter goes into your 8th house, Scorpio rising, for a year. Now, Mars is your planetary ruler, Scorpio rising. So wherever Mars is transiting, it's going to be very important for you to understand the energies of the house placement. And for you, Mars opening up the month of May, continues its transit in the sign of Aries, your 6th house. And Mars is the ruler of the 6th house and the ruler of you, Scorpio rising. And he's direct all month of May. And Mars in the 6th house, Mars in ancient astrology was in his joy in the 6th house. So he likes to get his hands dirty, get a job done, and be of service and be quite useful. He's also very aware of his physical body. So you could be very much having an uptick in being quite brutal when it comes to cutting out things that make you feel unhealthy. Could be a transit where you're having surgery or looking at things on the physical level that need to be dealt with. So you want to cut away things that don't serve you, that hold you back from feeling vital, healthy. So this is a great transit for getting on top of your physical health, and also connected to your career, co-workers, and services you provide to other people, if any at all. So we're talking about possible changes in your work environment. It could be a lot busier, or just really a lot of action going on in your workplace or with your co-workers at this time. Could even be contention or problems in the workplace, like having arguments. But sometimes we need to do that to clear the air so we're all back on the same page. And this is what you could be dealing with Mars in that 6th house. Changes in the workplace, services you provide for other people, your health. But just being fired up and really just going for it. And so then there might be some problems, to be fair, when you're having Mars transiting in that 6th house. Well, on the 3rd of May, Mars is sextiling Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, so your 6th and 4th houses. So we're talking about a sextile aspect between some real big power players here, planetary-wise, being Mars and Pluto. Now, these guys are all about, looking to the future, but in different ways. Pluto's about looking to the future because before we do that, we need to release the past. We need to sift through the debris, bring things up that's been laying dormant, so we can cleanse, purify it, and release it so we can move on. And Mars is all about moving on and action as well for the future. So when you've got a sextile with the 6th and the 4th house, this looks like potentially a retracing of things that you do on a day-to-day basis that affects the family home or real estate or property. And even work could be connected to your home. So renovations in your home or workplace again, but it's harmonious. So something's trying to transform here in your workplace or your actual home, real estate, property matters. Now on to planet Venus. Now Venus is in her ruling sign of Taurus, and this is your 7th house. Opening up the month of May, she's continuing her transit here. Now, Venus in Taurus is very content. And in your 7th house, no less, you could have some nice, harmonious relationships now, or feeling that relationships are needing a lot more attention. So you could be really having a lot more time directed towards a partner or relationship. Also, again, those agreements and contracts look more in your favor, or just feel like you're getting your money's and values worth. So you could be feeling financially secure, or feeling like you're spending a lot of money on a partner or relationship as well, with Venus in that 7th house. On the 1st of May, Venus is squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So there could be it could just be a challenging day on the 1st of May as far as something going on in the home or a family situation that is affecting the relationship between you and partner, or an agreement or a negotiation that needs to be ironed out. On the 13th, we got Venus sextiling Saturn in Pisces, currently transiting your 5th house. So we've got a nice sextile between your 7th and 5th houses with Saturn and Venus. A partner could have a nice surprise for you regarding finances or a proposal of marriage or something quite contractual that's long term and feels quite secure. This is a pretty big day. Circle that, the 13th of May. On the 18th of May, we've got Venus conjuncting Uranus and Taurus in her home signs in your 7th house. So this could be an out of the blue change in direction in regards to a relationship, contract, or an agreement that feels like it's possibly going to shake you up. So there could be a surprise from a partner or a direction that you're moving towards with your partner that feels brand new, unusual, but you do you. And could also see a contract or negotiation come out of the blue that is quite lucrative for you, or could throw you for a curveball. You may need to talk to your partner about it. On the 23rd of May, Venus conjuncts Jupiter in domicile. In the 7th house, Venus in that Taurus in her 7th house, her domicile. Now, in ancient astrology, Jupiter and Venus are known as the two benefics. So this conjunction on this day is delicious. In your 7th house, there could be a surprising financial return or information from a partner that takes you by surprise. This could be a surprising big debt for all you know. This big Jupiter, Venus, money. Ugh, could be something of that nature. But it could be a surprising contract or an agreement that is going to grow in the future and set you in a new direction or trajectory with you and your partner or solo. If it is a big debt or something that needs of your financial attention, this is the day where it might come online and you have a big conversation with someone that you're connected with in partnership. On the same day, Venus is going to be ingressing into the sign of Gemini. I love Venus and Gemini as an astrologer. It's sexy, sassy, she's fun, she's online, she's connected, and really loving life. And this, this is your 8th house until June 17 of 2024. So Venus and Gemini, fantastic. And in your 8th house, really connecting with people that are going to improve your financial standing in the future. Inheritance could appear, or finances could appear that weren't available but now are. It's a favorable transit. If there's contracts or negotiations or paperwork that needs to be looked at, this is great for getting things set in stone or ended, with Venus transiting in Gemini in that 8th house. So enjoy that transit. I think it's fantastic for you, Scorpio rising. On the 25th, Venus and Gemini is trining that retrograde Pluto in Aquarius. Your 8th and 4th house is now in a trine aspect. As you know, opening up the month of May on the 1st, there was a square. But now because she's in Gemini, you've got a nice trine. So something that was, a little bit higgledy-piggledy or a bit contentious in regards to your home, family, real estate or property matter, things are coming back online. So we've got something worked out in regards to resources or a partner's resources, or just investments or property or ancestry matters or inheritances are coming back online. So things are now ironing out and evening out on the 25th of May. Phew, thank goodness, Scorpio rising. Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus. So let's just have a quick mention what these guys are doing. Well, Saturn is still currently transiting in your 5th house, being Pisces, doing his magic, direct all month. Neptune's direct in Pisces, doing his magic, your 5th house all month. And Uranus is direct in Taurus, your 7th house, doing his magic all month. So these guys are staying put and doing their wisdom. Now, Pluto's going retrograde on the 2nd of May until September the 1st of 2024. So this is your 4th house. So when Pluto's retracing his steps, and he's only gone 2 degrees to be fair, we're looking back, and this is an opportunity to possibly obtain or gain a lot of wealth regarding real estate or property. Family, ancestry could be more helpful, or you could be more drawn into those subjects. Could also see a return of a real estate investment. Family that have been distant could be more present. So yeah, you've got this transit happening for quite some months. So enjoy getting back the wealth of connecting with family, real estate and property in a literal way and a physical way or spiritual way when you've got this transit occurring with Pluto retrograding in your 4th house. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. Have a blessed and magical May. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you got some value, and I will catch you next time.